Okay, let's see if we can do a Punnett square with this funny new notation. We've got two fruit flies fall in love, and one of them is E1, E4. E1, E4, and the other is E2, E3. And if we cross them, the question is, what offspring are we able to have? You can set up a Punnett square. What have I skipped? I'm being bad, aren't I? We're supposed to do a legend before we get into this, and in a video just before this one, I went over all the variations that could happen here, but let's do it right and get our legend down before we go on. Legend. Okay, so the four alleles that we use for fruit flies, or the eye color in fruit flies, and that's what the E is for, are E1 is red, or sometimes they call it wild type, because out in the wild, apparently most fruit flies have red eyes. Second ranked, the second most dominant is apricot, orange. E3 is honey color, light brown, and the least dominant or most recessive is white. I'll spare you writing out all the possible combinations of those for organisms. I like doing that, but there's just too darn many with this, so we'll figure those out as we go. If you want to see them or you want to go through them again, get a hold of the instructor. They'll be happy to take you through it again. What are these parents? What color are they before we go on? This one, the most dominant allele it has is E1. That overrides everything, especially E4. So this is a fly with red eyes, or wild eyes. I'm not going to write them both every time. And in the other parent, the most dominant allele is number 2, which is apricot. 2 dominates 3, so the honey doesn't show up at all. This one just has apricot colored eyes. So here's our Punnett square. This parent can pass on either one of these alleles. It could either give its fruit fly babies the E1 or it can give them the E4. This parent can pass on either the E2 or the E3. You don't have to have every single allele in every question, but we do today. Okay, so when an egg gets fertilized and you get two of these alleles in the same cell, we're going to write both of the E's, and always you're supposed to put the most dominant first, so I'm always going to put the lower number first. In here we get E1 and E2, and happily those are in order. E1, E2. Here we get E1 combining with E3. One goes first. It's the most dominant. It's going to override the E3. Down here we get 4 with 2. Don't put the 4 first. Get them in order. And bottom right corner we get the 4 with the 3. Again, you get to, don't write those in the order I said, write them with the most dominant, as in the higher ranked one first. So there are our 4 combinations for the genotypes. Now, what do they actually look like? What color eyes does this fly have? Well, the nice thing about writing them the way we do is that the most dominant, the one you should pay attention to, is always the first one written. So this is red combined with, who cares, it's getting dominated. So this fly will have red eyes. Next one is red mixed with, doesn't matter, it's getting overridden, red. Down here we get 2 with 4. This is apricot mixed with white, but the apricot is more dominant, so that fly will have apricot colored eyes. And this last one is 3 mixed with 4, honey mixed with white, and the honey is more dominant. So in the end, we will get 2 out of 4, or 50% red, or wild type. We'll get 1 out of 4, which is 25% apricot. And we'll get 1 out of 4, which is 25% honey. Now, these two reds are genetically different, One of them is E1, E2, one is E1, E3, but you won't be able to tell just looking at them. You'll just see red eyes, and that's all the information you'll have probably until these flies produce offspring of their own. So did we get everything they wanted? Genotypes and phenotypes of the F1 generation, check, we got all that. What are the phenotypes of the two parents? Yep, we got those. I believe that's all they wanted. Yay, we win.